Hello and welcome to Haubstadt, Indiana, home of Tri-State Speedway. I'm Darren Waldo with Wide Open Broadcasting, and this is the Summit Summer Nationals kickoff race. A little bit of rain in the forecast north and south of us, but it seems to be breaking up here in Haubstadt. Some of the best talent in the modified racing scene is here tonight for this 3,000 to win race. We caught up with some of them in the pits. Let's hear from them now.
We went down to Tyler County Speedway for the Let It Ride 55, and we started outside front row of the feature. We led all 55 laps and ended up bringing home the big 55 win. You know, that's probably the biggest thing in modified racing. If you want to get better and learn, you know, you got to race against the best competition. And, you know, here at Tri-State, there's going to be a bunch of good competition. You know, Levi, he's been going real good here, and Gilpin, he's usually real good wherever he goes. So, you know, it's going to be tough, but have confidence in my elite chassis, and hope for the best tonight and hopefully bring home the $3,000 check.
All in all, just keep the nose clean. Try to run, you know, if we can finish top 3 tonight, I'll be happy. I'd like to win, you know, but realistically, you know, top 3, top 5, a little bit better caliper cars here tonight.
Yeah, you know, the race cars that'll be here tonight, it's going to be tough to duplicate and repeat what we did last year, you know. You know, statistically, I'm not very good at this place, so to come here and get a win like we did last year was pretty cool. You know, a big win for me, and hopefully we can just take the momentum we've had the past couple weeks and you know, roll that into tonight and just do everything right and make the right adjustments. You know, you got to qualify good and start up front in your heat and win the heat. And I think you got to start in the first couple, you know, first 2 rows, 3 rows to get it done. There's a lot of good race cars here, and you know, just keep her nose clean and hopefully we can do everything right and make the right adjustments to put her in victory lane later.
A whole new team, all my own deal. It's we just do our best and see where it plays out at the end. That's about all we can do. We've had a fairly good year so far. I mean, it'd be a lot better if I wouldn't have the DNFs. I think I got 6 DNFs, and the majority of them DNFs should have been wins. I mean, you can't never count them until you cross the checkered flag, but they rightfully should have been wins. I should be 14 or 15 wins now, but that's the way the ball bounces. You just got to move on to the next night and just keep plugging and chugging.
And that was Mike Harrison. He won last year's Summit Summer Nationals. Heard from 2-time national champion Devin Gilpin. Levi Kissinger, who's won the last 2 features here. Teams are making last-minute preparations on their cars. One of the biggest stories of the day may be that Brian Shaw has returned to Tri-State Speedway after his incident a couple weeks ago. Brandon McDowell wheeling the 1S for him. Track prep is underway. The drivers' meeting is just finishing up. The fans are making this a packed house tonight. And here we go. Heat race number 1, Kissinger's Red Angus. Levi Kissinger and Zach Fair leading us on the opening lap. Dustin Beck, Everett Bradham, Will Krupp up there on the high side. Kissinger taking off right where he left off a couple weeks ago, out front. Beck won a heat race last time we were here. Bradham going to battle him door to door, pushes up just a little bit, gets that momentum rolling on that high side. Kissinger and Fair have had some hellacious battles so far this year. Two of the best in the business in this area for sure. Kissinger and a Bandit racing chassis. Zach Fair and his own creation, a Zach Fair chassis. Will Krupp running on that high side, getting a run on Beck. Throws it way down deep. Slides up across the track. Loses his momentum. Beck's going to keep that position. Krupp will try to roll back on that high side and get it going. He's got that Willys Super Bowl on his engine. White flag for Kissinger. Fair right in tow. Top 4 will transfer to the feature as Kissinger leads them through 3 and 4 for the last time. And Kissinger will take it. So we got Kissinger, Fair, Bradham, and Beck moving on to the feature. 5 through 8 will go to the B main. 9 and lower will go to the C main. We caught up with Kissinger in the pits. Let's hear from him now.
Oh, Haubstadt heat race stuff, you know, we get stuck with Zach again, and I just kind of ran the bottom protector a little bit. Car's good, you know, just kind of feeling it out a little bit. Track's a little different tonight with those sprint cars here.
There we go, and heat race number 2 brought to you by Miles Racing Fuel. Trent Young, Grant Hagen, got to lead us on this opening lap. Looked like Trent may have started a little early there. Stacked pack back there. Oh, yeah, and the starter did call him on that. So here we go. They're going to start right at that orange cone, side by side. Trent gets a good jump, though. Hagen got to run it up there on the high side. Stan Beatles in 3rd, and Ronnie Falloway in 4th. We got a lot of talent from all over the United States. Oh, as Falloway spins around right in the middle of 4. Collects Bobby Miles, and that looks like Josh Tomlin. And we're going to get a complete restart. Hagen able to hang with Young a little bit better this time. Beatles rocking Ronnie Fallon right there. Hagen going to bring it on that high side. Gets a good run. And Trent's going to stay down low. Trent normally likes to be up high here. Beatles going to try following Hagen around as well, but he's taking more of a middle route. Hagen throwing it right up there against the cushion. Oh, and we got a melee on the backstretch. It looks like Tomlin again. Matt Hines. I believe that's Cliff Tooley. Hagen leads us on the restart. Trent gets a good run himself. Takes the position momentarily, but that high side just carries way too much momentum as Hagen's able to take back the lead. Oh, and we got another one around. Looked like Stan Beetle just lost it there at 4. Yet another restart for Hagen. He's been good so far. Let's see what he can do this time. Good jump by Hagen. That spec racing engine in Young's car, though, pretty powerful. Carries him right with him. And Young's going to move up to that high side, too, try to keep that momentum rolling. Jim Black, and that 1D, that's Dean Hoffman. Uncle of Nick Hoffman out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Builder of the Elite Chassis. Dean's a pretty well-known guy in the Illinois racing scene. And Tomlin stopped on the track again, and we're going to have another caution. Restart as Hagen brings him down to the line, followed closely by Trent Young. Dean Hoffman right there, rocking Ronnie Fallon, trying to push it up there with Jim Black. Trent trying to do anything he can to get by Hagen. Hagen looking pretty good on that high side, though. They both lose their momentum just for a second, but they're able to get right back in the gas and get on it. Hoffman and Black both taking that high line, and we see Hines trying a little bit of that middle groove. Oh, and Hagen's in the wall. Definitely some body damage there. We see part of his spoiler hanging off. He's able to get right back in it. Oh, he taps the wall again. A little greasy up there around that top rim of the track. Trent Young will take the white flag here, 1 to go. And we'll have a redraw for the winners to see where they start in the feature. So far, Kissinger and now Trent Young are heat race winners. Dean Hoffman, Grant Hagan, Jim Black all going to the A main. We caught up with Trent. Let's hear his take on that heat race.
Well, it was a pretty good heat race, I think, between me and Grant. I think we put on a pretty good show. He got the lead on me, I don't know, on like the third restart. We finally got going green, and he got the high side rolling and got by me, and I just kept working on him, trying to pressure him a little bit. Finally got up beside him. I don't know if he bobbled or what, and I cleared him with maybe 4 to go or something, and I never seen him again or seen anybody behind me, so I guess I got away from him after that.
And here we go at the Ted Brown's Quality Paint and Body Shop. Heat race number 3. Dave Beck, Mark Lamont, Matt Mavert, Josh Harris, Tyler Luis, Devin Gilpin. This is a stacked heat race. We didn't like that start. Let's do it again. Gilpin throwing it way up against the fence on the restart, trying to get some momentum, carry down the front stretch. Didn't look like it worked for him, though. Beck leads the way. Lamont right in tow with him. Mavert closely in third. Lamont catches a little bit of wall. That's going to be costly for him as Weiss and Josh Harris get by. Mike Harrison also in this heat race. Only 4 will move on to the feature. Tyler Weiss pounds the wall. Mike Harrison just kind of laying a weight back there. Weiss gets the wall again. Beck cruising. Easy lead right now. Mavert in second. Josh Harris, Tyler Weiss, Mark Lamont. The champ, Devin Gilpin, riding around in 5th. Harrison trying to work his way up into this pack as well. Weiss has won a couple big shows here lately. We saw Mavert at Kentucky Lake earlier in the year. It was a 3-wide battle going on between Lamont, Weiss, and Gilpin. Lamont goes around, collects a little bit of Gilpin. That sky's looking a little dark as we're keeping an eye on the radar. Beck's gonna lead the way, followed by Mavert, Harris, Weiss, Gilpin. And you heard Gilpin say historically he's not very good at this track, although he did win last year's Summer Showdown here to kick off the Summer Nationals. Says he doesn't really plan to go after the Summer Nationals championship. It's not really on his bucket list. Oh, and there we go, Mavert in the wall. A lot of heavy contact with that wall. Gilpin gets him some. And there goes Harrison. Gilpin's going to fight right back down low, try to keep his spot. Just can't make it happen. And there we go. David Beck transferring in. Let's hear from him now.
I just moved to the top. They said the heat race before me, everybody's running top, said it was fast, so I just went to the top. I never seen nobody, so it worked out good. We had a real good car up there, so I'll probably be up there for the feature and see what happens.
So Josh Harris, Tyler Weiss, Mike Harrison all in. And here we go at the D&J Auto Parts heat race number 4. Tyler Nicely, one of the most successful drivers here early in the season. Leading the way, Steven Snap, always tough here at Tri-State Speedway. And the Cowboy, Paul Miles, and a new to him, Elite Chassis. And he's going to almost loop around there right in front of the field. Joel Jensen gets by, Brandon McDowell. Matt Lane right there with him. Miles loops around and stops in turn 1 to bring out the caution. And 2 weeks ago, nicely won that Let It Ride 55 Renegades of Dirt Series race at Tyler County Speedway. Brought home a cool $7,555. McDowell pounds the wall. See that rear quarter panel way up on him. Snap. Just rolled around in the tire tracks so nicely. Michael Fox trying to get into the fray. And McDowell, some pretty heavy damage there on that right rear quarter panel. See that sail panel just jacked up all out of shape. But he gets a good run, fighting for a transfer spot. Fox is going to hang right there with him, though. White flag for Tyler Nicely, followed closely by Steven Snap. Tyler Nicely looking really strong in this heat race. Hasn't pulled the trigger to win one here at Tri-State Speedway yet, but he just won a heat race. Steven Snap second, Joel Jensen third, and Michael Fox will take that fourth and final transfer spot. So a lot of good cars in that B main and C main. We caught up with Nicely in the pits. Let's hear from him now.
We qualified second in our group. We started outside front row and got the early lead and fell off for the win. So after the redraw, we're starting pole for the feature, and hopefully we can lead it there.
And we're keeping an eye on those clouds. You can see some rain way off there in the distance. Guys are scrambling to get ready for this B main, and here we go. Brought to you by Allen's Dirt the Game. Dirt-thegame.com. Check it out. Matt Mavert. Here's the C main. Tooley. John Wolfhart. Four-wheel transfer from the C main into the B main. Samantha Beatles currently has that fourth and final transfer spot. Justin Jones trying to pressure her up there to get it. Billy Lewis taking that low line, getting by Jones. Underneath Beatles, there's young Bobby Miles in the 88. That car's been driven by Matt Crofton during Speed Weeks. Oh, and Billy Lewis goes around and collects Bobby Miles. Sean Cates caught up in that as well. So Mavert, Tooley, Wolfhart, and Beatles on the restart. Jones, Bobby Miles, and Sean Cates. Jones trying to get up there to run with Beatles for that fourth and final transfer spot. Bobby Miles wants in that action too. Oh, and Beatles loses it in 3 and 4. Collects Sean Cates. He's having a rough night so far. Mavert, Tooley, Wolfhart, and Bobby Miles. Justin Jones, and that's Billy Lewis right back up there with them again. Miles trying to run that low line. Everybody else seems to be sticking around that high line. Billy Lewis trying to work his way up onto the bumper of Bobby Miles. Gets a pretty good run down the back stretch. Both of them run that low line. Billy Lewis says, I'm going to leave that left front home tonight. The two tangle, get connected just for a second, and that's just enough for Lewis to get on by him. Miles throws it in, trying to make a last-ditch effort to get by him. Can't make it happen. We're on the white flag. Maverick, Tooley, Wolfhart, Billy Lewis. And those will be your four that transfer into the B main. And that sky just keeps getting darker by the minute, and that is a storm north of us. So let's check out our Young's Well Service B main. Top two will transfer. Tim Lewis Jr. and Matt Hines leading us on the way. Paul Miles trying to make a charge up to the front there. Don Brantley joining in that battle as well. Mark Lamont opted to start on the tail. He will automatically get a provisional into the feature. All he had to do was start, and we got Brandon McDowell and Lance Foreman around. Miles gets by Hines, throws it right up there on the cushion, and Hines goes around right in front of traffic. Well, it was going through Don Brantley's mind there. Tim Lewis Jr. leading the way. Oh, and Hines loops around in 1 and 2 and brings out the caution. On the restart, Tim Lewis Jr. followed closely by Paul Miles, Don Brantley, Brad Barrow right there in 4th. Notice we didn't see Devin Gilpin come out. I wonder if he tore up his car too much. Smacking the wall in his heat race to be able to continue. So he'll be unable to defend his win from last year in the A main. Brad Barrow throwing it right up against the wall. See Billy Lewis creeping into the picture there. Mark Lamont just kind of cruising around back there, staying out of trouble. Got to wonder if he's trying to find something on that track that's going to help him out. And we got one up against the wall. Looks like Clay Lane. Miles, Tim Lewis Jr., Don Brantley. Brandon McDowell getting up into the fray. Miles making that high side work. Lewis, though, running that low line pretty good. Haven't really seen anyone run it that well here as of late. Cliff Tooley goes around on the backstretch. Just a little bit too close to the racing line, so they're going to throw that yellow. And here we go on the restart as Paul Miles leads the way. Tim Lewis Jr. Brantley has a little bit of trouble. Farrell and Billy Lewis all over him. Brandon McDowell right there with him. The two are going to transfer out into the A main. Lewis is really making that low line work pretty good for him. Oh, and he experiences some problems. He's going to pull her in the infield. So that's going to give a pretty comfortable lead for Paul Miles. Billy Lewis in that second spot. But Brandon McDowell's got something to say about that. He's going to try getting up there with him. Looks like Lewis has got some wheel issues as those tires are pointing in opposite directions. Miles out to an easy lead. And the battle right now is for that second and final transfer spot. Billy Lewis definitely with some major problems. McDowell smacks the wall, but he'll hold on for that second and final transfer spot into the A main. That was a hard-fought B main there. And they kick off to the Summit Summer Nationals. Major event here in the Midwest as the competitors line up in that 4-wide. Salute to you, the fans. Double checkers flying from the flag stand. 22 cars will start this A main with Tyler Nicely and David Beck cashing in on the redraw. Levi Kissinger, Trent Young starting in that second row. Zach Fair, Dean Hoffman, Josh Harris, Steven Schnapp, Everett Bradham and Grant Hagan, Tyler Weiss, Joel Jensen, Dustin Beck, Jim Black, Mike Harrison, Michael Fox, Paul Miles, Brandon McDowell, Matt Golden, Matt Mavert, and your last row will be Mark Lamont and Josh Tomlin. 40 laps is the distance. And if the races we've seen in recent weeks here at Tri-State Speedway are any indication, we're going to have a battle in our hands. And so let's kick off this RacePartsTrader.com A-Main feature race. Nicely leads them to the stripe. Beck gets a heck of a run off two. Splits nicely in Kissinger. Young right there with them. And you can see that traffic that comes off that turn and how tight it is. Oh, and we got a couple getting together. It's like Dustin Beck and Mike Harrison. Can't tell who the third car involved was. So here we go on the restart. Didn't get a lap in, so we'll do it again. Tyler Nicely, David Beck leading them on that front row. Kissinger hugging those tires down low. And you can just see him throw it in there in one. That was an awesome view. Nicely holds off a charging Beck this time. Kissinger down low. We've really seen that low line work really well for him as of late. Nicely just gets a huge run off of two. And Kissinger's going to throw it down there and just bounce over those tires and try to hook them. Just comes off that hill so quick. He's really got that elite chassis figured out. Beck and Young taking the high side. We see Zach Fair down low. He's run pretty good there as of late. Dean Hoffman gonna press him for position. Tags the wall just a little bit, not too severe though. Josh Harris and Steven Schnapp gonna battle it out. Everett Bradham gonna be right behind him. Schnapp is a local guy here to Tri-State Speedway. A couple years ago had a lot of success here and just hasn't really been able to duplicate that. As our leaders are getting ready to incur some lap traffic. These guys have been basically door to door through the turns on almost every single lap, with Nicely able to just get a huge run. And Grant Hagan around in 3 and 4. Nicely will lead him down to the cone on the restart. Kissinger right underneath of him. They're going to take off right where they left off. Kissinger down low, Nicely up top. You can really tell that that track isn't quite as slimy as it was earlier. A lot of guys seem like they were just tagging that wall pretty hard there in the earlier heat races. And the best of the best come here to Tri-State Speedway. Local drivers all through the front of the field. Dean Hoffman right now is your top running out-of-towner. Just a short drive over to Owensboro, Kentucky, where a lot of these guys are based out of. And of course, Owensboro, very well known as a racing town. Produced the Waltrips, the Greens, Jeremy Mayfield, and about half of the pit crews in all of NASCAR. Just a huge battle between these two every single lap. Kissinger just trying to get a good run off that bottom. Carries the momentum off. The low line just isn't doing it right now. Nicely just gets such a huge run from that momentum coming off the turns. Kissinger's just got to hope he slides up and taps the wall right now. That they're coming up on some lap traffic. Josh Tomlin going to be the first car that they have to overtake. Lamont right in front of him. Tomlin's going to take that low line, let Kissinger kind of cruise right on around on the upper side. Kissinger kind of hung with him a little bit better there. Not running down so low. Same thing in 1 and 2, kind of hangs right with him. Just going to go right back down. Oh, Lamont spins right in front of our leaders. He's able to keep her going though. That could have been real bad real fast. Nicely continues to lead the way. He's led every single lap so far. Grant Hagan will be our next victim. It looks like Kissinger's just getting a little bit of a better run. Running right there in the middle of the track. Fair and Beck battling it out. Here comes Trent Young, Dean Hoffman, Josh Harris. Someone climbed the wall back there. Third through 7th, you could throw a blanket over them, they're so close. And our leaders, though, are putting some serious distance on them as they get ready to lap Grant Hagan, another Owensboro product. Oh, huge melee. Dustin Beck Brandon McDowell getting together. And here we go on the restart as they thunder on by. Tyler Nicely's not going to give up that high line. He's got something work right now, and as far as he's concerned, all he's got to do is mash the pedal and turn left, and he's going to walk away with a check for $3,000 and the points lead after night one of the Summer Nationals. But Levi Kissinger's not going to make it easy on him. These two are definitely the class of the field, as they haven't had any problem from third on back. All they've had to do is race each other and avoid lap traffic. Beck and Fair running back in third and fourth. This battle up front is just too good to tear your eyes away from. You know they've got to be having so much fun right now. Clean track, clean racing. Kissinger gets a pretty good run through 3 and 4, but once again that high line is just too fast. Nicely pushes up just ever so much, but it doesn't cost him too much. Summer Nationals will continue Wednesday at Brownstown, Indiana, for the traditional kickoff race. Super late models included tonight. The modifieds take center stage, and the crate lates are their undercard. This is the highest paying race on the Summer Nationals series with $3,000 paycheck, as David Beck has established himself as the third runner. Trent Young, Hoffman, Zach Fair, Harris, all battling for position. And our leaders are approaching some more lap traffic. Looks like Josh Tomlin right there again. The laps are winding down. It's just fitting that we'll run into some lap traffic to add a little bit of excitement. Kissinger's hoping that he'll get lucky and Nicely will either mess up or he'll get a little help from some lap traffic. Nicely's just been very smooth, running his line every single lap, in and out. Really hasn't made much of a mistake. You can really tell that Nicely's matured over the last couple of years. If you followed him. Well, as Lamont goes around again, brings it in the infield, and we're going to stay green. Nicely doing a lot of traveling this year. He's following the Renegades of Dirt series. More of an independent series that follows races in West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, North Carolina even. And he's been pretty successful as he's making a charge for the Rookie of the Year in that point series. Miles' car looks pretty battered there. They're coming up on some lap traffic. Dispatch Miles. Jim Black up top. Grant Hagan down low. Nicely dives to the bottom. That's the first time we've seen him move off that cushion. And he's going to put 2 lap cars between himself and Kissinger. Joel Jensen spins. We're on the white flag though. And Tyler Nicely is going to win the opening round of the Summit Summer Nationals. 2 huge races in a row for Nicely. Winning the Let It Ride 55 and now the biggest race of the year at Tri-State Speedway, the Summit Summer Nationals. Incredible race. 39 laps in a row, door to door with Kissinger. Some of the cleanest racing you ever see. And nicely, he is excited. Burning off some donuts down there in 3 and 4. So your top 5, nicely, Kissinger, Dave Beck, Trent Young, and Zach Fair. Oh yeah, he's going to town on that hood. He is excited. And there's your RacePartsTrader.com official results. And he's grabbing a picture with the sponsors of this event. Let's hear from him now.
We started on the pole of the 40 laps, and I knew it was going to be tough. Levi and Trent, they started behind us, and Beck on the front row. We got the early jump, the second restart, and led all 40 laps. I mean, me and Levi ran side by side the whole entire race. Never once touched. It's a wonderful race. You know, it means a lot. You know, I've been trying for 2 years to get a win here at Tri-State. I've been leading quite a few races, and I've ended up making mistakes. And we ran 40 hard laps and no mistakes with good, clean racing with Levi. I mean, it means a lot. And this is the biggest paying race of the Summit Modified Tour, and so it feels awesome. Yeah, I mean, we won that Let It Ride 55 2 weeks ago, 7,000 to win, and you know, good competition there, and rebounded and carried our momentum into this race, and we got I mean, it's unbelievable, really, to win a race here at Tri-State. I don't know what to say. Windy Hollow Speedway, they're having a 1,600 to win tomorrow night, as long as the rain holds off. We should plan to be there, and Wednesday night we're going to go on over to Brownstown, Indiana for the Summer Nationals too. Lucas Oil Center, AFCO Racing Products, Diggers Fencing, Soldering and Guttering, D&J Auto Parts, Miles Racing Fuel, Easy Buy Auto Sales, Elite Chassis, just everybody that helps. Thank you.
And it's raining outside. Looks like Mason's going to get his own back as he continues on his tear. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, D&J Auto Parts and Sales, Miles Racing Fuel, Ted Brown's Quality Paint and Body Shop, Kissinger's Red Angus, Young's Well Service, Allen's Dirt the Game, and RacePartsTrader.com. Check them out on Facebook. Congratulations again, Tyler Nicely, on a career win. Go ahead on over to Race Day Vlogs and subscribe to our channel. Check us out on Facebook for more updates throughout the season.